Of the Class D Far West Regional. Right now, it's Randolph coming from behind in that second quarter, 22-21 over Section 5's Oakfield, Alabama, Elba. And joined by Tim Chifa, Joe Daniel as well, who caught the end of that second quarter. Tim, for much of that game, we were very much we wondered if Randolph was going to be able to hang in there. They were really punched in the mouth, but they showed a lot of character in those final few minutes. I think it was actually after Joe arrived, as all of a sudden Randolph just turned it on, and now they have the lead in this game.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the adversity that Randolph had to overcome. We looked, throughout the schedule that they had this season, and we weren't sure if they were ever down at all this season. Losing at any point, maybe week 2 or week 3, we thought maybe, but definitely not by 2 touchdowns at ever any point. So kudos for them for sticking around, sticking to the game plan. We mentioned in the pregame, both teams are heavily running teams. Oakfield has been, the greatest show on turf so far in the first half. I'm really impressed with number 2, Brody Hyde, really good quarterback for Oakfield. Joe, I know you came in and Randolph kind of took over. What did you see when you came in with Randolph?
Well, I came at a good time. If you're a Randolph fan, right? Some good luck. Yeah, down 21-7. They get a touchdown from Padgett, and then the fumble from Brody Hyde was a surprise because he just didn't have 2 good hands on it. And then the coaches always say fall on the ball, and he didn't. And then it was a great turnaround. 14 unanswered points in the last 3 minutes, turned this game around, getting that 2-point conversion. I mean, they're off to a good start. And yeah, I came in at a good times, guys. So I'll take all the credit for the Randolph fans watching. You're up by 1 because of me. Just kidding. It's because of Padgett. Nice throw by to Huntington.
Two of them on that drive.
Two on that drive with 30, a minute left.
The 33-yard pass and then the touchdown pass.
It was almost the same play, just a little bit shorter. I think it was about a 33, 34-yard on first down, I believe, which, I think some of the passing, Francis, I think is really throwing the other defensive coordinators off guard. I think Randolph probably game planned completely to stop a running attack, and Oakfield came out throwing the ball all over the place.
Yeah, and we had their first touchdown of the game was a 5-yard pass. I believe they had a big blast to set things up. I know you're seeing highlights right now, and I believe this is the Tyler Hine. So first drive of the game, Oakfield, Alabama goes down and scores, and then as you can see right here, Tyler Hine takes the ensuing kickoff down the field. So Randolph had an 8-7 lead without even taking an offensive snap. Then Oakfield, Alabama got some momentum, 2 more touchdowns, and made it 21-8, and then with less than 2 minutes to go, Randolph scores 2 more times to take that 22-21 lead in the half as well. But yeah, you talked about one guy that's doing so well, and we see his highlight up here is Noah Courier for Oakfield, Alabama. He caught my eye certainly when I saw this the Section 5 game.
Kid flies, Francis. I mean, the kid just flies. I mean, we talked about him a bit in the pregame show about he's a threat out of the backfield, but he also had 2 kick returns for touchdowns. He had a punt return. He has 2 receiving touchdowns. And you see why he's such a special weapon for them. They, obviously, number 10 Gage, he's their superstar, right? But Noah Courier, he's kind of their go-to for everything kind of player, and you see why they want to give him the ball in open space as much as possible.
One thing that caught my eye, I think they ran it a little bit, but not as much, especially last week, was that wildcat formation with Bush at kind of that quarterback spot, and they found a little bit of success maybe midway through that second quarter, and then that kind of led to them getting that full momentum at the 2-minute point. I guess the biggest play would probably be the pass plays, although I'm trying to think, was there a turning point maybe before then that kind of got the momentum rolling for the Cardinals?
Well, the fumble, right? I mean, the fumble, they got the ball back right with a minute left. That was, able to, I think it's a completely different mindset, going into halftime now with the lead. Outside of, you can kind of say they got outplayed, I think, for most of the half. and then everything gets turned around in the last 2 minutes, and you're up a point going into half. So, and you get the ball to start the third quarter. But yeah, I'm really impressed with both teams. It's very obvious why these two teams are here. They are two very good teams on both sides of the ball. I think we're really in for an exciting second half of football. It could be one of those games, Joe, that comes down to who has the ball last.
Yes, I agree. And, a great last 3 minutes, but the fact that Randolph has the ball to start the second half is huge. And whether they score or not, they just need to keep that momentum and keep possession of the ball, move it down the field. Sometimes, it's important to score, Tim, right, and Francis, but sometimes you want to flip the field, right? You want to have a good offensive drive. They got the lead. They're feeling some good momentum. Maybe they saw something in the last few minutes. Yes, they got some good field position, but they've got confidence. In a game like this, that's what you need. And
keep the other offenses off the field as long as possible also, because as we see 22-21 at halftime, these are some high-powering, high-functioning offenses that score a lot of points. I think they both, close to 40 points a game. I think we looked during that first half. So you hit the nail on the head there, Joe. It's not just about scoring. It's about getting established drives, keeping the momentum, and then if you are punting, punt from somewhere between the 40 and 40, between your own 40 and the other team's 40. So you are flipping the field and keeping the momentum, because it's not always about scoring, but it is keeping their offense off the field as long as possible, and then maintaining the good field position.
And Francis, that's what Randolph did last week in their championship game. The field kept on getting flipped, and they forced some tough, deep punts, and they had great field position the whole game. So talk about field position, it's important, and it shows in that. So we'll see how they keep it up in the second half. But you got two teams, Oakfield, they averaged 47 points, Randolph 39. Guys, they've got 22-21, so they're almost at their average at half. So it's been a high-scoring game for two teams that play good defense.
And Francis, we talked about before the game started, huge special team. We have a huge special team plays already. We have a kick return. You had, the first kick to Randolph was a kick return for a touchdown, and then I think it was a punt by Oakfield from their own end zone that went almost to the 40-yard line of Randolph. That's a long kick for high school.
Yeah, and it got a really nice bounce. Yeah. You could tell Hind was thinking about taking it, but I think it was on that next drive though, because I remember him saying to you they were just past midfield. It was 4th and 2, and I said, Tim, do they go for this? And you said yes. And you know what? If they missed that, I'm not sure. I think they missed that
35-yard line or so, 37-yard line. So.
I think that was probably the turning point.
Huge play. I agree. Huge play for them.
All right, Joe, real quick. If you're Coach Brent Brown of Randolph, what are you telling your team at halftime?
Well, let's do what we did the last 3 minutes. Let's force a turnover when we're on defense. Let's continue to throw the ball, because luckily they had some success. You guys were saying both teams throwing the ball. Get it to Huntington, but, you got him and you got Pagic. Just be smart with the ball. Make every possession you have in the second half count, whether it scores or not. Keep the ball out of the Oakfield, Alabama's hands and be in a good spot.
Tim, same question to you, but for Oakfield, Alabama, Alba.
Yeah, I want to get the ball to Noah Courier in every way possible. I don't think Randolph has a single player that can guard him one-on-one. I want to get him the ball in screens. I want to get the ball on some long passes again. And this kid's a special player. I like to get him the ball as much as possible.
All right, well, that will do it for our halftime show. If it hasn't started already, the second half from Jamestown of the Class D Far West Regional for football. It is the Randolph Cardinals of Section 6 leading Oakfield, Alabama, Alba, 22-21. Join us back here for after the game for post-game coverage of this game. You're watching our coverage of the Far West Regionals on Western New York Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYimmediatecare.com for more information.